If you plan to change your life, shall we say to turn over a new leaf, you mustn't let the devil know, because he will oppose you with all his might if he suddenly discovers that you are going to escape from his power. Alan Watts. The devil is a cunning trickster who will find any opportunity to sway you to his side. The only way to defeat this trickster is to move in silence, to not give him the knowledge to defeat you first. However, when we speak of the devil, do not picture a horned, red-skinned figure cloaked in darkness, wielding a pitchfork and cackling wickedly as he plots his next nefarious scheme. Rather, it is like the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. The devil exists in each and every one of us, but so too does the essence of the gods. It is up to you to choose which figure you are going to give the power to. To put it simply, you are your own worst enemy. The most difficult battle you will ever face is the one against yourself. But it is the only battle worth winning. So, how do we outwit this devil in disguise? How do we overcome our worst enemy and relinquish ourselves from the chains of our own minds? Follow us, dear seekers, as we unravel the knowledge of Alan Watts to discover how to outwit the greatest enemy you will ever face, the one that exists within you. When Alan Watts spoke of the devil, he didn't mean the physical embodiment of Satan, but rather the ego that exists inside all of us. We all struggle with our own addictions, impurities, and insecurities. Even as you watch this, you can think of parts of yourself that you would like to relinquish. You can envision a life for yourself that is beyond the mundane of this existence. Something greater, which exists beyond your ordinary habits that you find yourself trapped in. So you see, the trickster that has trapped you in these habits is the ego, the devil within you that you seek to escape. As Alan Watts said, the ego is a double-edged sword. It is the device whereby the universe gets to know itself, but also the instrument by which it bamboozles and abuses itself. The ego can be your greatest enemy, but once you learn to trick it, it can become your greatest power. So, how do you fool your own ego? It's simple. All you have to do is act without giving your ego the knowledge that you are doing so. Simple, right? This might sound like a tough idea to grasp, but there is a concept in Zen Buddhism and many Japanese martial arts that might help you to understand. This is the concept of mushin, which translates to mind without mind, or empty mind. It is a state of mind where you separate yourself from your ego completely, allowing you to act without being held back by your desires, distractions, preoccupations, fears, and worries. Alan Watts talks about this concept in the book Zen and the Art of Archery by Eugen Herrigel, a German philosopher who studied archery in Japan and documented his experiences. In the art of Kyudo, or Japanese archery, one must enter the state of mind known as mushin, where the archer acts without conscious thought or deliberation, allowing the body to respond naturally to the target. In this state, the archer transcends the ego and achieves a sense of unity with the bow, the arrow, and the target. There is a necessity to let go of the bowstring without giving yourself prior notice. If you want to be an expert, you must shoot before you have a chance to think. This state of mind is characterized by a lack of ego or limited self, and instead, it's a state of pure mental clarity and presence. In any art, achieving mushin is essential for mastery, as it allows practitioners to react spontaneously and instinctively without the interference of conscious thought. In Zen Buddhism, mushin is considered a crucial aspect of enlightenment, where the mind becomes connected to the cosmos and transcends the limitations of the ego. Are you starting to get it? Once you start to grasp it, you are bringing it to the conscious thought, and then you lose it again. Ironic, isn't it? The egoic mind does everything in its power to resist change, so when you start telling it what you want to do, it starts coming up with obstacles that stop you from creating the reality you truly desire, separate from the ego. It was Jesus who said, "Let not your left hand know what your right hand is doeth." So when you start telling yourself anything like, "I want to give up drinking alcohol for a whole year," your ego will start to plan around this and patiently wait till you fall back into its trap. But if you said, "I'm just going to stop drinking for today," you may have an easier time doing that for 365 days instead of committing to not drinking for a whole year. There is another fable that Alan Watts likes to tell in regards to having a no-mind approach to life. In this story, a man challenges a bear to a fight. However, this is no ordinary bear, as it can read the thoughts of the man. Before the man can attack, the bear has already read his mind, so he feels as though it is a losing battle. The man then realizes that to defeat the bear, he has to attack without thinking. He must not even know the move he is going to make, otherwise he will give it away to the beast. You must imagine your ego as though it were this bear. It knows your thoughts. It knows what your next decision will be, and it knows how to sway you from choosing what you want. In his Outwitting the Devil lecture, Alan Watts said, "It's as if you had said to the devil one morning, 'Look, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm not going to have anything to do with you anymore.' And so the devil, who is an archangel and is terribly clever, is all set for you. And because he knows that you are getting out of his way, he surrounds you with greater temptations than you ever imagined. So, if you are going to outwit the devil, it's terribly important that you don't give him any advance notice. And this is where the work of the sly man comes in. It may sound confusing, but we need to learn to act with intention, while having complete faith in ourselves that we no longer need to think our way out of the problem. You may say, this is illogical, but how do you use logic to solve a problem as complex as our own minds? The world is built on more than logic alone, and it takes some outside-of-the-box thinking if you are going to solve the problems in your own life. There is a quote that Alan Watts attributes to the Buddha. It goes, "To try and solve the problem of suffering by immersing yourself in pleasure only leads to a hangover." In other words, the more you seek pleasure, the more you will find pain. The same goes for leading a life of pure discipline and avoidance of all forms of indulgence. You will never experience the beauty and pleasure inherent in life. Instead, we must aim to discover the middle path. Watts believed that by following the Noble Eightfold Path, which includes skillful understanding, action, meditation, and concentration, individuals can walk the middle way and awaken to their interconnected nature, ultimately achieving freedom from clinging and suffering. The middle path is like a shimmering thread of gold woven through the tapestry of existence, inviting the weary traveler to walk its hollowed ground. This ancient way is neither ensnared by the whispers of indulgence, nor withered by the self-imposed chains of deprivation. It beckons the seeker to embark on a journey of transcendence, harmonizing the inner and outer worlds. In the gentle embrace of this timeless wisdom, the secret of true liberation is unlocked, granting the traveler a profound view of life that can take them beyond the simple desires of our existence. So, dear traveler, do you have the courage to walk the middle path and keep your own growth hidden from the devil that seeks to destroy you?